got two first-generation Mazda Miatas. This one here is a bone stock 91, and this here is its owner, Sergio.
Yeah, so I purchased this car, I think it was February of this year, and I previously had a 2008 Mustang GT, and so that was too much, just too big of a car for me, especially commuting, and I wanted to slim down to something smaller, a little more nimble, and better on gas. And so I heard so many great things about the Mazda Miata online and on YouTube, and so I started looking for one on Craigslist, and I found this one. And this was the first one I test drove and the first one I checked out, and I thought that the owner had taken great care of the car, and it sounded like she really cared for it. And so I bought it there on my first drive. I picked it up for $2,500, and so I've just been using it for commuting and then beach trips with my wife on the weekends, and it's been a great summer car.
So you basically use this car for what essentially it was originally designed for. Not really an all-in-out hardcore sports car or track car, but kind of just a nice little roadster that you can use on road trips, take to the beach, and just have a good time with on a sunny day.
And, you know, prior to buying this car, I kind of had the same opinion a lot of people do about the car. Just they're kind of girly.
Yeah, kind of girly.
And you know, that's kind of was my main view of it. But after driving it, and even my wife immediately was like, "Wow, this is really cool." Just having a convertible, and then given the price, we just went ahead and picked it up.
I think the one fact that you have to respect is the fact that you went from a Mustang GT to this, and you still enjoy this. I mean, what else do you need to know as you know, all you potential Miata buyers out there who are kind of thinking maybe the Miata's not for you because it's either too slow or has a girly appeal or whatnot. I mean, he used to have a V8 muscle car and he went to this.
Now I recognize these roads.
Yeah? Car. You know, it's got no power, but you can just carry so much momentum through the corners that it really doesn't matter. Yeah, the car rolls a lot in the corners. I mean, stock suspension from the early 90s. You shouldn't expect anything else, but it tells you exactly what it's doing. It feels very composed, and I mean, honestly, this is what I love about the Miata. The moment you drive one through the canyons, that's when you really know, you know, that this is what this car is all about. Just having a good time going at, let's say, legal speeds. Like I said, the car is not that powerful, but, you know, the engine's quite revvy. It likes to rev out to its red line at around 7,000. Doesn't make a whole lot of noise, but the noise that it does make is, you know, pretty charismatic.
This car has not only made me a Miata fan, but a Mazda fan, and since then I've kind of caught myself, you know, just reading more about Mazda in general, and just because I appreciate, you know, this car so much for what it is. Yeah, I think it's Matt Farah where I first really got interest in this car, because this quote, you know, most miles per hour. And then I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
When I drove it, I'm like, okay.
There's miles per hour and like miles per gallon.
Miles per gallon.
What they say. It really does make sense. I mean, for $2,500, what car is going to put a bigger smile on your face? I mean, at least for me, there's nothing out there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
26-year-old window sticker. What's the MSRP on that?
MSRP on here, $14,300.
$14,300. So thanks again, Sergio, for letting me check out your stock Miata. It's a great car, like I said. Any of you enthusiasts out there who are just trying to look into getting your first car, I mean, it's an easy pick for under $5,000.
Right.
But as we're gonna find out soon, if you really put the time and effort into making the Miata an even better handling car than it already is, it will pay off. Alright guys, so we are now in Aaron's 95 Miata, course, this is the 1.8, but it's still considered a first generation NA Miata. And as you can see, obviously this car is not stock. It is far from stock. So Aaron, tell me about your car.
Well, I basically had the car for about 2 years. I needed a car for daily driver to school, and I've been modding it ever since. Just endless parts here and there. I pretty much set up the car for mountain driving at the moment, but I still like to go. I would love to go to the track. I always end up buying like parts, so I end up having no money for the track.
So being a 95 Miata with a 1.8 liter engine, I think what, 128 horsepower?
Yeah, 128 to be exact.
And you know, you're pretty much still at stock power, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have an aftermarket intake exhaust, but it probably doesn't do much.
Oh, you got a lightweight flywheel, you said, and
yeah, it's
an
like
aftermarket stage 2 clutch?
Yeah, so it's a Flyin Miata stage 2 clutch with a 10-pound flywheel, I believe. Because the stock one, I would have to really rev it out on the downshifts, but this car, so you have to baby it.
So this isn't your daily driver, is it?
This is my only car.
It is?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that clutch on a daily basis?
You get used to it. It becomes stock.
It becomes stock. Every other clutch just feels like a joke.
Yeah, exactly. Suspension, I'm running Tein Flex, Flex Z.
Okay.
And brakes, just HPS pads and RBF fluid.
And you're running the Advan AD08R tires? And 205s all around?
Yeah, on a 15x9.
Wow, that's got a bit of stretch to it.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, how much did the car originally cost? Because you got it stock, right?
Yeah, I paid about like $4,000 for this car.
And how much would you say you invested in modifying it to this point?
I don't want to say exactly, but more than double the value.
More than double the value of the car.
It's like, let's just say I could have bought a S2000. Right?
You could have bought that, yeah. Okay. So that gives me a good reference point as to what I should really be comparing this to.
Yeah. Just not enough power.
So let's push this car a little harder here and see how it feels compared to stock Miata, and let's say compared to an S2000.
That's for sure.
What I really like about this car is actually the suspension setup. The engine has a nice sound because of the exhaust, but other than that, it feels maybe 10-15% more powerful than the other one I drove. Not a drastic difference, but it really doesn't matter because the cornering speeds of this car, the level of feel that it gives you through the wheel, as well as, you know, just through the seat of your pants, very communicative car. And then, you know, once I got used to the flywheel and the stiff clutch, it feels really good. I feel like I can just bang off those shifts without really worrying. I find myself not laughing nearly as much as I am in the other car. The other car, you know the limits of that car in the corners. You know how far you can push it, and when you do that, you're just kind of laughing the whole way because the car is like kind of just, you know, weaving side to side, bobbing back and forth.
It's still fun though.
Yeah, it's still fun, but this car is a lot more serious. Like, you know, I actually have to be on my game when I'm driving it because the limits are so much higher. And also, like I said earlier, the suspension is on the bumpier side. At least for these roads. So there was one part back there on the straight, and you probably felt it. There was quite a bit of jerky bounciness. And it did upset the chassis a little bit, so I had to kind of, you know, back off a little. Let's see about that straight line performance, just for shits and giggles. Yep, this is a great handling car. It's much better handling than a stock S2000. So have some, you know, consolation in the fact that you've made this car, even though you spent as much on this car as you could have to just buy a stock S2000.
Yeah.
This car handles better than a stock S2000, for sure.
On the corners.
In the corners, yes. In the straightaways, it's not even a contest.
It's not a contest.
And that feels strange coming from me because I think the S2000 could use more power. I really love what you've done with the engine, even though the power is stock. Just the responsiveness of it is really incredible. And it makes heel toe in this car probably the easiest out of any car I've driven, S2000 included. I was a little afraid at first that this car might be a little bit more show than go. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit more form over function, but no. This car looks the part from the outside, but it also goes the part. So I think you've done a really great job here.
Thanks.
Do you have any future plans to keep improving it?
I think the way it handles, like I can't find anything that's like wrong with it. If anything, I just want more power now.
A little more power?
Yeah.
So how would you go about, maybe explain to some of the viewers who are new to Miatas, how would you go about adding power to a Miata without obviously turbocharging?
Yeah, I think the best option is probably supercharged.
Supercharged, okay.
Yeah,
so
like
you're still going to go forced induction.
Like a Jackson. Well, I actually would love to do ITBs, but they're not.
Not car believable.
I've driven a friend's ITB. Like it's just the throttle response and the sound it makes. It's just amazing.
You know, I still haven't driven a car. Actually, no, I have driven an 86. Yeah, with ITBs.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite a sound.
Yeah, doesn't make as much power as like a supercharge, but
the responsiveness is just out of this world. But I would say, you know, there's responsiveness that you've got, you know, through the mods that you've done here are already at a really high level.
Yeah.
I wouldn't actually want any more response. I mean, it would help, but it's not something that I think this car needs. I think it just needs another good 30-40 horsepower.
I know, right?
So thanks again for letting me drive your car, Aaron. I think this car is a great example of what you can achieve on stock power if you want to make a Miata a better handling, better driving car. I do recommend that you take this to a track someday.
I know.
Because this car is, honestly, it would be fun at the track. It wouldn't be fast.
Yeah.
You wouldn't put down great lap times, but you would have a ton of fun doing it. So, also I want to add one new part to my videos going forward, maybe at the end. I want to kind of list out a couple of the cars that have really been on my mind lately in terms of what I want to drive, what I want to review. And if you guys have them, you know, maybe reach out to me and let me know. So the two cars that I want to do for this week are the Camaro SS1 LE. I know that's a car that's might come as a surprise to many of you that I want to drive, but I've heard so many great things about that one. And the new version just, you know, it did awesome in the Motor Trend's Best Drivers contest, Best Drivers car contest. And for my second pick of this week, 300ZX Nissan twin turbo. You know, I'm driving a Supra soon. You know, I'm experienced with NSX, with RX-7, so I really like to add that to the portfolio, just to see how it stacks up in the whole Japanese early 90s sports car scene. So if you guys have either of those cars, let me know. Thanks guys again for watching my channel. As always, please comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Oh yeah, the bite. No, oh no. Oh, the biting point is right there.
Oh, it's right there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's gonna take some getting used to.
Oh shit.
What? That's crazy, man.
Does it feel that stifty or just the biting
It's not
point?
that stiff, it's just the biting point.
It's right there. It's literally like as soon as you let go.
Alright.
Ah, I should have warned you.
All good, all good.